Welcome back to an electric show. Take a look at NFC win totals. Defending NFC champ and show favorite Brock Purdy head into just his second full season as a starter. And the 49ers are the head of the pack for wins, 11.5. So we're going to do two things here. First, we're going to pick our favorite over, and then the pessimistic under. But we'll start with you, the team you're most optimistic about.
All right, before I give my answer, a little pop quiz or a question for you guys. If I were to say the 5 worst teams in the NFL last year were Carolina, New England, Washington, Arizona, and Tennessee, would you say that's at least reasonable? They have picks 1, 2, 3, 4, and 7, right? So
yeah, sure.
Okay. What if a team got to play all of those teams? That's the Chicago Bears. They're going over 8.5, guys. They have a last place schedule. They have those 5 games. 2 games against the Minnesota team that's probably going to be starting J.J. McCarthy. They also get the rest of the AFC South and the rest of the NFC West, which only has one team that Vegas seems to think is excellent. They won 7 games last year. They added Keenan Allen. They're going to add another blue chipper with the 9th pick of the draft.
Yeah.
And a full season of Montez Sweat. Once they got Montez Sweat, they had a top 10 defense. You can be cool on Caleb Williams, and this is still an over. You can think Caleb Williams is going to be the second best quarterback in his class, and this is still an over. Now, if I'm right that Caleb is generational and going to be awesome, then this is no doubt an over, but you don't need to believe in Caleb Williams the way I do to believe the Bears are going to go from 7 wins to at least 9 wins with that schedule and under those circumstances. So I think my favorite bet of the offseason is the Bears to win at least 9 games.
I'm not mad at that.
No, what you said made sense, but I do think I would say clearly, you might disagree, the 3rd best team in that division. And are 3 teams in that division winning 9 or more games possible? But I still think they're 3rd best. I'm high on Caleb overall. I think there's going to be growing pains when he comes into the NFL. I don't think this is a C.J. Stroud situation. So I do think there are going to be some struggles early. So, I like them between 7 and 10 wins.
So you think the number's right about right? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Who you got, bro?
I am going with Green Bay as my over.
Oh.
I mean, Jordan Love,
right
they in the regular season 6-2 with victories over Detroit and Kansas City. Jordan Love is 18 touchdowns, 1 pick in that stretch, and obviously we know what they did in the playoffs. Matt LaFleur, we know, is a good coach. The front office is good. They got Josh Jacobs now to replace Aaron Jones, and Jones was critical to this
in the
run.
Playoff run, yeah.
But he's 3 years older than Josh Jacobs. Jacobs 26, Aaron was 29. So if Josh Jacobs can run, why wouldn't he be able to run as effectively as Jones did? You still got the run game, and they still got Dillon back. And I think the defense will improve at least a little bit. And so I think they're a legitimate Super Bowl contender.
Wow.
So I've
You're
got
really
them over.
going
I got
for
the
it here.
over. Yeah.
So the Super Bowl contender is a touch too rich for me because this was a team that while you and I liked them in the preseason last year, it really was a tale of 2 seasons for their quarterback and their team. So it's a lot of smoke based on how they finished last year, which is a lot like the Lions the year before. And to your credit, the Lions were a game away from making the Super Bowl the following season. I feel about the Packers the way you feel about the Bears, not in the number of wins, but that this number's almost exactly right. That I think they're going to be a 10 or 11 win team. So I don't vehemently disagree with you, but I think Vegas has this number right, so it's not one I would bet on.
Those are solid takes.
Thanks.
You know what I like to do? I like to look around the bargain bins. I'm a TJ Maxx type of guy, you know? I head over to Marshall's clearance rack. Not even
Regular Marshalls, the clearance rack?
Clearance rack at Marshall.
Wow. Yes, orange ticket. So I'm down. Carolina Panthers. Have you ever seen anything in Bryce Young in the NFL? They were at 4.5 wins. I'm doing the bargain basement.
Yeah. No.
The Vikings. Have you ever seen anything of Sam Darnold?
No.
No.
Giants, yeah, I see Daniel Jones run and then fall down. How about the Commanders at 7.5? We don't even know who their quarterback is.
How about Kyler Murray? You ever seen Kyler Murray do something amazing?
Yeah.
Ever see Kyler Murray say, woo, Kyler. Last 3 games last year, when he started to, get back into the swing of things, Kyler was back to being old Kyler, completed 70% of his passes, almost 300 yards if you want to really
one of
round
those games
up.
was against the Eagles,
Still, the Eagles made the playoffs. It was there. They also beat the Bears, who may or may not have been trying to win, and the Seahawks. So I'll take it. I believe in Kyle. I believe in.
I think that's smart. I think
win more, 7?
Yeah,
7 games?
To win 7 games.
If 7 and 10 and I win?
How about this, Wilds? Tell me if you agree with me on this. If they don't hit the over, Kyler's on the market next year. You know what I mean? If they don't hit the over, then
There's
I don't
talk that they already might be interested in drafting a QB.
Correct. And so
Marvin Harrison Jr. Watch what happens.
And well, that's the part you didn't include in your stated analysis, is they could either draft Harrison, Neighbors, or trade that pick and get probably the 11 and 23 from Minnesota, add 2 players. So I think that's smart.
7 and 10?
No, I think that's smart.
No.
Easy. All right,
That's
pessimistic
not bad.
time.
All right, so Wilds, despite not being a sharp gambler, does have some sharp gambling instincts, which is you like to go over on the terrible teams, as counterintuitive as that is, and under on the high win total teams.
Correct.
What's the highest win total on that board?
Oh, no, bro.
The Niners?
So let me ask you this. Audience, right now, how many games did the Niners win last year? You guys don't answer. You're pros. You know this. I think most people are like, they win 14? No, they lost 13. They were 12-5 last year. I know they were discussed like they might go undefeated, but they won 12 games last year. Last year, they did not have this schedule that they have this year, where they play outside of the division: Kansas City, Detroit, Green Bay, Buffalo, Miami, Dallas, and then, of course, inside division, the Rams 2 times, and then evidently the frisky all of a sudden
Get one.
Cardinals. So you have that happening. They also have, I'm not certain Brandon Ayuk's going to be on the team. I think he is.
Weird vibe.
But it's a weird vibe situation there. Do I think that it is absolutely in play that the Niners win 1 or 2 fewer games than last year? They don't have to fall off the map. They could still win the division. But I just think saying they go 11-6, the under hits. And so for those reasons, and because, and this is where I know we'll disagree a bit, or maybe not even, that I think that a Brock Purdy statistical regression is more likely than not, even if overall quarterback play regression. So I think Purdy's not going to have quite as good of a year. The defense, I think we saw signs of real atrophy at the end of the year. They're switching coordinators. We learned this year that the coordinator switched. There's the all of those things. That's just an under to me, even if you like the Niners.
I like both of those.
Well, that's what, to me, the Super Bowl. Now, you mentioned that schedule is obviously tough.
Yeah.
Right? But the Super Bowl hangover would be the biggest thing, and we saw that with the Eagles. It started late, but it happened.
Yeah.
All right, this is just ironic. You went with kind of one of my teams, and I'm going with yours.
No, your team was the Eagles, bro. You just tried to pretend all year.
No, I mean, I'm going with yours, the Cowboys. Your NFC team. He loves the Cowboys. Look, I reserve the right. We'll make our real picks in the fall.
Yeah.
But right now, the Cowboys have lost 6 starters. I know they got Eric Kendricks, so okay, maybe they lost 5. Let's say they've lost 5 starters. They don't have a running back, and I guess everybody thinks Rico Dowdle will be able to fill in, or Deuce Vaughn, but they don't have a running back at this point, like a top-notch one. I think that's necessary when Jack
either, bro.
No, Pollard
was not good.
Pollard, no, didn't he get over 1,000 last year?
He was
a Pro Bowler 2 years ago. Last year was his worst year as the number 1 back, but still better than whatever they have now. And Dak, the pressure all year.
I agree with this.
Right? It is going to be pressure on him all year. This is clearly an S-Bob year. They know it. It's one and done for them. And so I think, Nick, the Cowboys are coming back.
For whatever it's worth, the last time
they might win. They'll win 10, but
right.
10
and so that's the thing, is the last time Dak was healthy and they didn't win 12 games was 2019. And so you can doubt the Cowboys in the playoffs, but doubting the Cowboys in the regular season has been a losing bet.
A lot of those guys are gone. And Jerry's talking about the guys we got. in the building. They're gonna have to play. We'll see.
That's fair. I think the Cowboys, when you get 4 games against the Commanders and Giants built in, I think they'll win at least 11 games. So I disagree with you.
All right. Am I doing mine, Dust, or are we going?
Say yours, yeah.
Well, I don't know. We went to
Do yours. You're a part of the show, buddy.
I wasn't 100% sure. Okay, teams with 10.5. The Cowboys are very good. The Eagles might be too much money on them, according to Bill Simmons. Lions and Brew has the Packers going all the way to the Super Bowl. What's going on with the Falcons?
I ain't quite say that.
What's going on with the Falcons? We believe in Kirk Cousins that much?
He won 13 with the Vikings.
Who is he throwing to?
Justin Jefferson. He got
Okay,
some
I
good.
do not believe that the Falcons, who can go 10-7, would be a huge home run for everybody, and this would hit. Just go 10-7.
How many they win last year? 8?
8, I think.
Last year,
seven.
they won 7.
7, so, yeah.
You win the division if you win 9. The previous year, Tom Brady won the division. He won 8. So the idea that all of a sudden, Kirk Cousins with an Achilles, when games are won in the margins, do I think one little scramble turns into a sack if you have a bum Achilles? I do. 10-7, I'm being optimistic, but 10-7?
You loved Cousins last year. You thought he was going to the Super Bowl.
Playing great.
But now he's post
Now he's on a new place.
Listen,
Everything's new.
I just got to say, as the gambler on the
Thank
show,
you.
you're on the sharp side of
Yes.
this. I mean, the
10-7?
Falcons win total is about a game and a half higher than it should be.
Yes.
It should be set at 9. 10.5 is a rich number.
Falcons fans are like,
gotta
oh,
win
Wild
11
said we're going to
games.
go 10-7.
When they had Matt Ryan's Super Bowl and MVP year, they won 11 games.
Okay. So you think they're going to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I mean,
No,
that's
I'm not.
That's what you just said. Clippers time. Has Bruce's faith been shaken?
They got to win.
all right. So my initial gut was Houston because I like Houston a lot, but then the AFC South has some brutal cross-divisional matchups. Like the whole division has a brutal schedule, it feels. So I am going to surprise the audience here. I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs. They won 11 games last year in what was considered a disaster year.
And it was a bad
They have
regular
won 12 games or more in every year of Mahomes' career, and most of those seasons were only 16 games. They're now 17 games. They get 4 games against the NFC South, another 4 against Vegas and Denver. So they start with 8 wins. So the question is, can they go 4-5 in their other 9, which is their hard games? The AFC North, 2 against the Chargers, and then San Francisco, Buffalo, and Houston. Obviously, yes. And so typically the highest over-under is not a good over. For the Chiefs that almost hit it last year despite it being a disaster year, I think 12 wins is a pretty safe bet, so I'll take over 11.5.
Well, I definitely agree on the Chiefs. I think for a team coming off of 2 Super Bowls, they're going to have so much motivation. I feel like most teams in this position don't have this type of motivation. But they got the 3-peat, which wouldn't be unique to them, but they got the 3-peat they're shooting for. You brought back Chris Jones. You lost Snead. I just feel like, and they didn't have good receivers last year for the most part. Now they've added some to that core. I think they're going to have a really good regular season. I think it's going to be way better than last year.
If I can just add to it, and I think they added motivation of, I know they proved they could go on the road. I don't think they want to do that again. I don't think they want, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, we showed we could, but that was a harder path. You know what I mean? And the Buffalo game in particular comes down to the final seconds, to not have to go through that level.
I think they're just so out to make history.
Yep.
I
They're
just
going
like
to
to
have a
have
great
one
regular
devil's argument. Remember when the Chargers would do wacky stuff to beat the Chiefs?
I would try,
Yeah, but they did. They're like, we're going to go for it on 4th. That's what you hated, going for it on 4th and 8. But they're like, let's go all in to beat the Chiefs. This win actually feels like it's worth more than one win. Same reason when the Lions beat the Chiefs early on. We're like, ooh, the Lions, and it was winning. I feel like teams are going to play strangely against the Chiefs, sort of go all in.
But that can flip. I assume that'll flip in both directions.
Yeah.
Maybe they lose a game they should have won, but then win a game they should have lost because a team does something goofy.
They're going to get everybody's
Like a
shot.
fake punt in the divisional title or the divisional round at home in a 3-point game in the 4th quarter.
Go Brew. Who's your over?
Well, look, I still like the Ravens, the purple and black, but I'm not going with them because I saw something. 7.5 for the Steelers? I mean, this has got to be a joke, right?
Oh, so you believe Justin is going to start?
No, it could be Justin. I don't care who starts. They won 10 last year with Dusty playing quarterback.
Wow.
I mean, seriously, like, what are we talking? This is their best quarterback situation, regardless of which one it is. I'm serious. It could be Russ. It could be Just. But whoever is their starter, you mean to tell me their best quarterback situation in the past 5 or 6 years, and Tomlin's going to have his worst season of his career?
So, well,
that's all I'm saying. He's never won 8 games, or
fewer. He's never been below 500.
He's never been below 500.
Yeah.
I know they were only playing 16 a few years ago. So, I'm not even sure yet if they're gonna make the playoffs because that division's so tough. But they're gonna win 8 games at least.
So if Justin's the starter from week 1, I'd agree. With Russell Wilson, I wouldn't. I also think you've got 6 games against the division, plus you play Dallas, Philly, and Kansas City. So that to me is 9 brutally tough games on that schedule. What's the best case for what they go in the division? 3-3?
Yeah,
I mean, I think they might have gone 4-2 last year to be fair to them.
3-3.
3-3, and so I think that is. Let me put it like this: I think that this total will be in jeopardy with 2 weeks left in the year. You know what I mean? Like, I think it will come down to the wire. It feels like they are 7, 8, 9 wins somewhere in there.
You ever heard of FWAB?
Let me think what that means.
FWAB.
Something or bust. What is it?
5 wins or bust.
Oh.
Patriots over. I mean, 5 wins. Guys, 5 wins. Last year we had 4. We beat the Jets, the Steelers, the Broncos, and the Bills. So we can beat teams. Here's the games that we lost. We lost 4. So we just need 1 more. We lost a 3-game stretch.
You lost the best coach in history.
Was he though? Here's a 3-game stretch we lost. They sound like high-scoring hockey games. 10-6, 10-7, 6-0.
Yeah.
So if Jaden comes in, hey, can you score 11 points?
But
yeah, I can. Hey, can you not throw 4 pick sixes? Aaron Rodgers has 4 pick sixes in his entire career. We threw 4 last year.
But hold on, Wilds, real quick.
Drive for 5.
You don't think?
Drop the banner.
You don't. Yeah, I understand that you
5,
and after there's a
5.
lot of America after a 10-episode documentary anti-propaganda attack of Bill Belichick called The Dynasty is down on Belichick. You're not worried that the defense that is going to take something of a step back?
No.
Okay, so you think Belichick was totally useless?
No, it's just protege.
No. What does that matter?
He's had a lot of proteges.
What is it? The idea. Hold on. So you don't think the defense could take a significant step back?
Do I think having Christian Gonzalez and Judon back?
I get that.
Do I think that helps mitigate Belichick leaving? Yes.
Okay.
Do I think Belichick lost his fastball a little bit? Okay. Is that an
I mean, listen, this is a sharp, believe
Trying to
it or
get
not,
5 wins.
this is taking the lowest win total and going over is a sharp play.
They should get
3
5.
on accident.
I would think they'd get 5.
Moving to the unders, Nick, you can start us off
Sure.
here. It's a little more pessimistic.
Yeah, I mean, this is very simple. I'll just take a team that hasn't won 10 games in nearly a decade, might have the worst coach in football, is in a tough division, and by the way, only plays 3 teams all year that were worse than them last year, and that's the Jets. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, obviously.
The Jets could have the best season they have had since the Obama administration and go under.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about? The Jets win 9 games. They're going to probably give everyone an extension.
With terrible quarterback play.
I understand
a quarterback they can't give away with a rack of balls.
No, I understand that.
4 rack of balls.
I also do not. So I think that they are going. I'll be very curious to see if the Jets are grown-ups when this draft happens. Because they're sitting at number 10, and what they obviously should do is take Fuaga or whoever their favorite tackle available
Get a wide
is.
receiver.
But what I think they're going to do is draft Brock Bowers or Roma Dunze, whatever shiny, cool weapon is available, is be like, fingers crossed on our 33-year-old tackles, no chance they get injured again.
Correct.
And so if they take the tackle, then I will believe in them more. If they're like, nope, we got to pretend like this year is all that matters, then we'll know what's going to happen. But either way, they are.
It's a great pick.
They're going to hit the under. They're not a playoff team.
Again, I'm not. This is early. I'm not saying they definitely get in the playoffs. They got to win 10.
Well, they do sad.
It's
cases.
all about. It's all about health. It's all about health.
That's true.
And if these guys are healthy, and Aaron Rodgers is 85% of what he was a few years ago, why not?
85% of what he was when he won the MVP.
Yes, when he won
That's
the MVP.
a-
I'd buy
he
it.
wasn't.
That might be saying I'm not
Yeah.
convinced he will
Sure.
be. But if they're healthy and he's good,
Sure.
they
Okay.
can do that. All right. Well, look, I'm sticking in the AFC East, and I got a little hit for you guys.
Oh, what is this?
You know what it is.
What is this? No, I just want to keep doing it.
The break dancers,
Bring 'em out.
Miami. I wish we had them.
Yeah.
Miami. All right, they win in 11. I mean, look, they've been figured out, and I like Mike McDaniel. I think he is a very good coach, but they've lost some defensive players.
I mean, you mock the guy at every.
They lost. I don't mock him.
What do you?
I mock his toughness of his team. The toughness of his team. Xavier Howard wants out.
Oh, he's gone. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I just think that they were 1-6 against teams with winning
Lost
records.
Christian Wilkins.
Right. I mean, Van Winkle. So I just think that they're
You don't like him.
Can I?
Yeah.
Can I?
You know.
Can I?
11 games.
Can I put an asterisk
What did
on
we
that
last
take?
year? 11.
I would not.
10?
Anyone out there that's considering making this bet, I would just wait until the schedule's released. And you might be like, what does it matter? We know who they're playing.
Oh, it's too hot.
I want to know where and when their cold weather games are.
Yeah. If they're going to Buffalo in September.
Right. Is their game in Buffalo and
Well,
in
they're
New
at
England
Green Bay
early?
too, aren't they?
Right. But so that's my point.
It don't have to be that cold.
I understand, but so if they,
flummox,
I just want to know, like, do they
Tua.
get their road dome games in December
That's a good
or
thing.
in September? I think it affects them more than any team in the league.
I think they could win 10, but that's saying they're going to win
yeah,
11.
that's a lot.
So,
I'm going Colts, and I want to root for the Colts. I want to root for Anthony Richardson, but they went 9-8 last year. So, do I think it could be flipped? One game and they go 8-9? Yeah. Mac Jones gave them a touchdown in Germany. They won that game. Their kicker hit 4 50-plus yard field goals against the Ravens. They won that game. And I know we all like Anthony Richardson. Brood, he's completed 50 total passes. So we're basically entering kind of rookie year 2.0. So I think there's still going to be some growing pains there. Yeah, I think they go
the division's
8
going to be
and 9
better. It's
instead
gonna
of
be
9
better
and 8
this year, don't you
Yeah.
think?
So
Well,
Houston's going to be good.
That's it.
Jacksonville is what
I
it
think
is.
Houston and Jacksonville are
Titans
are
should
fine.
be better.
Titans are
they'll be
somehow
better.
going for
Oh,
it.
I
They
don't.
are going for it.
Oh, I
They're
think the
going for it.
Titans might end up with
You
the
don't think
number
they?
one pick.
Why are they
really?
signing everybody?
Yeah, because I think they're poorly run.
Wow.
Maybe.
I think.
but-
Nah,
You think the Titans are going to be good?
I mean, they're
I think
trying.
they're going to be competitive.
They're
They're
trying.
going to be competitive.
Okay.
Well, I'm just saying, the other teams are not
I
trying.
wish they had kept Vrabel and signed all these guys, to be honest.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.